is the King and Doc podcast, late night edition. My man King Hulie with the Blood Doctor. What is going on, Hulie? How you doing, man?
Man, happy Tuesday. I am very happy back here. Be sitting back in this chair, in front of this desk, in front of this computer screen with my good friend, the Blood Doctor, doing this King and Doc show late night on a Tuesday. It's grand. It's a fantastic time to be alive right now.
It's the new tradition, and I'm gonna shout out another thing here. You got the Truth Be Told hat rocking, Truth Be Told Sports podcast. Got that merch going. Love that shit.
Let's go.
That is dope. We're gonna take this thing back. Shout out to High Hope Softball. What up?
Yeah, they love us.
Champion of something, maybe,
we came close a few times. I left that team because of injury. Very competitive softball team. I'm working my way back to get back to there, but they look like they've been doing pretty well this season so far. So,
we need to go live on location when you return.
Yeah, for sure. When I
do a live show, we're gonna mic you up while you're at the plate, All-Star Game style.
Treehouse Bandits in the house. What's up? What up? Thank you for tuning in. One
of our regulars, we appreciate, my man.
Oh yeah,
coming in, and we try to keep it pretty diverse on this one, but this was a pretty heavy sports week, man. There are stories.
A lot of stuff went on before that. But before we do that, man, I want to bring up this video because it's not really sports related, but it kind of is.
Okay, all right,
it kind of is. You know what I'm saying? Did you see this? Oh, let me.
I saw this.
Let me share the screen real quick.
Let's talk about it. Yeah. Here we go.
And I'm only gonna play a little bit of it.
So you went from saying that my outfit was really cute to saying I'm an effing idiot. That's so mean.
But I think that your point of view is very obstructed, and I think that you just don't understand the magnitude of having a child.
Yeah, well, I'm not the one who admitted they would be okay with killing babies in foster care and killing children that have been abused.
That's not the point. What I'm saying.
That's really.
Woo!
Man.
Channel?
Yeah, we're doing some.
It started off nice. I'm pretty sure, we don't have to play the whole thing right now because I don't want to get demonetized by sharing something else. But anyway, another thing, if you're out there and you're making that type of content where you, I guess, are trying to antagonize someone and you're looking for a reaction, when you get that reaction, please don't become, to make yourself out to be the victim. You're not the victim.
Yeah. You're trying to piss someone off. You successfully pissed someone off. Congratulations. What do you fucking want?
All right. So this is like when one of those instances where when fucking around meets finding out.
That frame. That frame. She really landed that one.
She did.
The thing that's most impressive about this to me is just from a pure boxing perspective. Let's take a look at her reach right there. Okay. She is far away. And she is still landing that right jab with decisive power right across the forehead.
Right across the forehead.
And the thing is, that's just a clean shot. And listen, you gotta. What do we know about boxing? You gotta protect the face.
Yeah, and you can tell she's holding up her guard. On the other side. That's a clean right hand.
Yeah, that's just technique right there. And I'm sorry that the girl in the blue top didn't have defensive techniques. But listen, if you're going to come to New York City, we all know that New York talks a big game, every New Yorker, whatever. But I think we also know New York is a great place to get your face fucking punched in. And if you're going to go antagonize people, you're going to get your fucking face punched in. What do you want?
Yeah, exactly. So if you're going to do that, New Yorkers by trade, if you've never been to New York, ever, but New Yorkers are very aggressive to begin with. You know what I mean? And then you add those females from New York, and I'm pretty sure, if we have any viewers that are watching this from New York and the tri-state area, if you see me in public, you're probably gonna punch me in the face. But you guys are really aggressive. So if you're making this type of content, don't go to New York. And I believe she's in Harlem. Don't go to Harlem. Just don't go to New York and make these type of videos because you will get found out.
I mean, listen, we can all agree that violence is wrong. We can agree that violence is wrong. We can also agree that it's really fucking stupid to go up to a person with a gun and call them a bitch. Like there's you know, like there's I don't know if the woman had lasting damage. I don't know like what happened to her.
I you know, if you watch the rest of the video, you see her like she might have some blood
she's
trickling
bleeding.
down.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think she got, you know,
I don't think it's
she didn't
lasting.
get knocked out or
It's gonna last like the 5 minutes it takes to get a band-aid to put over the wound.
But if you're gonna interview somebody and you're gonna lie about what they're saying and twist their words and use your little quick-witted whatever, you know, some people again, whether or not it's right,
not condoning
your ass knocked out. Like
not condoning the violence.
Yeah, I'm not condoning the violence. I'm saying it's what it is. Yeah. I'm not condoning the violence. I am talking about what a clean hit that is, though. That
is a clean hit, though.
She spent time boxing. You don't want to
somewhere in some gym.
Yeah,
you can tell.
Like if I ever saw this woman in the street, I'm turning around and walking the other direction in case I offend her. She gonna whoop my ass. I'm not even having that because that is a clean punch. Yeah, I'm just saying. But no, look, violence is wrong. You know what else 100%. Is wrong? Trying to twist people's words, make them look like a jackass, and that doesn't mean they should hit you, but it doesn't mean they're not gonna get hit. Like have some common sense. You know, like I don't know, man. Like
for sure. Oh, 100%. You're right. Have some type of common sense, you know. I just don't like people who make this type of content anyway. You know, you going out there, you trying to get the when they get the reaction they want or they're fishing for, it's just the becoming a bitch part, you know what I'm saying, that I just can't fuck with.
Man on the street interviews are supposed to be funny. It's supposed to be a humorous thing where you get people to answer a question in a funny way. And social media has twisted it into trying to anger someone in public so that you can garner sympathy and file a lawsuit or whatever. And again, the woman shouldn't have hit her, but I just wouldn't. I wouldn't behave the way that woman behaved and expect not to get hit.
Yeah, exactly. So,
you know,
that's
I don't know what you're gonna do.
Yeah, exactly.
There's what should be, and then there's what is. And I would never. There are certain places I would not go run my fucking mouth. And New York City is one of the places I would not go run my fucking mouth. Like, listen, you know, would you ever go to Southie in Boston and fucking talk shit about the Red Sox and the Celtics and Irish people? Nah, you would not do that because that would
absolutely. I mean, probably not Irish people, but definitely the Red Sox in Boston. I would definitely do that. And but my Timberlands would definitely be laced up. You know what I'm saying? I will have like a couple. I will have a couple. You know, some rolls of quarters in my pockets or a lighter or something like that. You know, I'm prepared for it. You know, they might get me. They might get me, but I'm getting a few of them before they get me.
You're prepared for 6 dudes named Sean to come outside. What did you say about the Red Sox?
Sean O'Malley. Oh, what'd you say about the Red Sox?
This Sean O'Malley, Sean O'Meara, Sean O'Hanson, Sean O'Christensen.
Oh, something.
And another Sean O'Malley also, and then another Sean O'Malley. So they spell
the names different. They spell the names different. Yeah.
This is I'm Sean, and this is Sean.
You know, I'll be expecting that. You know what I'm saying? I won't be like one of these tools. Like,
there's places you don't go to in LA wearing red. You know, it is what it is. So
yeah. Funny story. Like my kids play for the Nationals. The T-ball team is the Nationals, and Pearl tried to, you know, was like, well, let me get you a hat so you can match with them, but it's a Washington National hat, a big gang hat here in LA. Nope. I feel safer in the Yankees cap.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
it's no misconceptions.
Wearing red in Los Angeles is a dangerous proposition. You know,
it is.
Depending on where you're at, it's an extremely dangerous proposition.
I barely wear this stuff in my house.
I used to walk around in a red Tom Brady jersey, though, so you know I ain't give a fuck. What are you gonna do? You gotta live, man. You know what? I got into more than one altercation on the blue line. So what are you gonna do? I'm just like standing there living my life, and some fucking Raiders fan is like, you know, it was a fumble, right? And I'm like, all right, cool, man. Why don't you go lean and leave me the fuck alone?
Bro, that was me. That was me, like. For the first month and a half after the World Series.
Yo, this is like 12 years later.
I get it, bro.
This is like, this is a little bit more of a tired situation.
Okay, I get it. All right.
Yeah. But hey,
What to do? The Dodgers won. All right, cool.
Yeah, I didn't have to hit anybody though, so it was all good.
Yeah, I had to hit
There was
anybody.
no
No one
fuck
came
around
to
and
hit
fun
me.
out for them.
No one came to hit me either. UConn, man. What do you think about that? Their run through this tournament.
I mean, I think they're back to being UConn. I think that there was a brief moment in time where other teams had the opportunity to shine, and it seems that we're just back to what it once was. Where, I mean, this game wasn't even a game. I mean, South Carolina got their ass beat, and let's not forget, this is a great South Carolina team that won the championship last year. Like they waxed Caitlin Clark. This is a really good team, and they just were not even close to a match. And it's not even like it was all Buchers. Paige Buchers is awesome, but Azzi Fudd had a great game. They're dominating inside, outside. By the end of the third and going into the fourth quarter, it was a romp. And I just think that this is what we've seen from women's college basketball forever is UConn dominating. And it's going to be interesting to see, what happens going forward because, are they going to be able to continue to recruit at this level? Does USC and Juju Watkins, do they come back next year and, play with, who knows? Like we're just looking at so many different opportunities, but this just looked like women's basketball looked like for so long with UConn just being in a completely different class in terms of talent and everything else. And it was, I mean, I did not expect that at all. I expected a really good game.
Yeah.
And it was not.
Yeah. You know what? I kind of expected a little bit, but I'm happy that UConn is remaining relevant through this new change in women's basketball. In this new era of women's basketball. I'm glad UConn is remaining relevant because they've been a powerhouse for so many years. It was 12 national championships under Coach Gene Ariola or Armour, whatever his last name is. Which it's amazing. You know what I'm saying? So with USC and Juju Watkins coming in, all this new talent coming in right behind it. This was amazing for them to do this. South Carolina got to give their hats off. Well-coached team. Dawn Staley does her thing down there. She's turned that program around and made it to like a powerhouse that it is, and it will continue to be that way. But UConn.
Yeah, I mean South Carolina's not going anywhere. They'll be back, but it is pretty amazing when you consider like entire careers of WNBA superstars, Sue Bird, Diana Taurasi, they've come and gone. Yeah, and they went to UConn. They were coached by Gino.
Even way before then. We've been playing. Yeah. You got Rebecca Lobos. A shout out to my cousin Nikisha Sales are playing there. You know what I mean? So
their entire careers have come and gone, and Gino's still coaching at UConn, and now he just brought another team back to the national championship. And it's pretty insane the level of. I mean, in women's college basketball, I think that. I feel like there are fewer blue bloods. I feel like there are only so many teams that we really expect so much from. And a lot of it has to do with, individual talent from year to year, especially like, you used to have teams like Tennessee that were amazing year in and year out when Pat Summitt was around. And so it really does kind of shift. And so it's amazing to see that UConn is just consistently UConn. And I mean, they're the evil empire of college basketball. And so that everyone will give them their best shot next year. And it's just going to be interesting to see what happens. And I'm also very interested to see, Paige at the WNBA level. What is she, because I think that her, sort of flexibility of play, the way that she can drive the offense, she can, be a pass first player. I'm going to be very interested to see where she goes, how she fits, all those things. I mean, it was an ass kicking.
Yeah, it wasn't even close.
Yeah,
I was surprised that that's a Dawn Staley coach team that happened to, and the national championship game.
And they just fell apart.
So they would have showed up a little bit more, but because it's UConn, I think UConn's the only team that could have done that to them.
Yeah. And they completely, they just went ice cold in the second half and they could not break their way out of it. And it just eventually was just every possession is a turnover and a layup for UConn, and it became a layup line. And it was nothing. So, yeah, I mean, shout to UConn for putting up one of the all-time great tournament runs, and they had some really good wins, some comeback wins. There were points where they looked like they were in trouble, and they came all the way back. And there were a few games where they were losing and then came back and still won by 20. Put up that level of dominance. So it was definitely very impressive run from them.
Rebounding for the last couple of years, I think this men's tournament was probably one of the best men's tournaments we've had in a while.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Congratulations to the Florida Gators for winning the first national championship since 2007. And that statistic made me feel old as shit, bro, because that's Joakim Noah, Al Horford era. You know what I'm saying? Those guys.
The Billy Donovan Florida Gators, yeah.
Right.
And listen, I hate Florida, but I'm calling two things. Number one, I picked Florida at the beginning of this tournament after watching the first round. I said this team's going to win. I told you Florida was going to win. I told you Houston was going to beat Duke. So I'm patting myself on the back because I did a good job here. My bracket was a disaster, but these things I had correctly. Man, this championship game, well, first the Final Four. As a Duke fan, how did you feel? And I'm not asking you rubbing it in, like legitimately, what was they're up 7 with a minute and a half and they just freeze completely. How do you feel about that? What did you see there? Because I know what I saw. I'm just curious what you saw.
Like I said before, man, Duke has to, their problem was like closing out games. There's been several games where the score, saying how close the score was like indicative to like how the actual game was. Duke would dominate for like the first 16 minutes of the second half, and then like the last 4 minutes they will start falling apart. It's almost like they're like, we've done our job. We can take our jerseys off. We can lay them here on the floor, and we can just walk away, and everything will be fine. And that's what I saw in this game. What you're talking about, I said, well, we're doing it again. But, in certain games, like where it will happen, something will happen, Knipple will hit a shot, or Proctor will hit a good shot, or Cooper Flag would do something, do something good on defense to make it stop. None of that stuff happened. Unfortunately, his last shot, well, backtrack. The foul was bullshit. It should have never been a foul. Duke should have been in that national championship game kicking Florida's ass. To be honest with you. But we didn't get it that way. But that's just me as a Duke fan. That's how I feel as a Duke fan.
I agree with you that the foul was bullshit. I'm not going to disagree with you at all because, again, watching it live, I thought it was like over the back. And then when I re-saw it, I was like, no, they're just tied up. It's just the angle for whatever looked to me that way. But when you see it, it's like, no, man, they're just tied up. That's a rebounding scrub.
Yeah. It's
Houston's ball anyway. So if Houston goes down and scores, there's not much difference. If they don't score, then Florida has the ball with the lead. But here's the thing. Don't squander a lead of 7 points with a minute and a half left. And, the free throw thing is it's an issue. And, again, I said to you before, I think the biggest thing is that when you're Cooper Flag, you've got to know on that last play that you got to get that shot up quickly. You want the opportunity for a rebound. You want the opportunity for another play.
Right.
And I really feel if he had gone left and gone strong to the hole, he could have either gotten a layup or a layup attempt or drawn a foul. They were calling fouls.
Mm-hmm.
And I think going to the fadeaway is the wrong move. But this is what happens when, again, a kid is your leader. A kid is your best player. He's young. Sometimes they shrink from the moment. This shit happens. He's still amazing, and they wouldn't have been anywhere close to it without him. So, the shit happens. Not everyone has Carmelo Anthony's freshman season where they cut the nets, But I do think
that was a crazy season.
It was. But I do think that Carmelo Anthony is a really good comp for Cooper Flag. They kept talking about that during the tournament, and I think it's a really good one.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Carmelo Anthony. Congratulations on being elected to the
in the Hall of Fame. Hell yeah. Dude, yeah. Prime Melo. I lived in Denver during Prime Melo. That was he was a sight to behold, man. I wish that more people had seen Melo when he was in Denver.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, like I do think that that's a failure of coaching more than anything, though. Like I think that John Shire showed he's got to grow a little bit.
Yeah,
you got to know how to grind time and how to have a set that can, run out those final seconds. Because Houston just made Duke work so much harder for every single thing. And that's what they do.
Mm-hmm.
They grind you down, they grind you down, they grind you down. And they were doing it to Florida pretty damn successfully. And then they choked it away themselves. Like they gave up a pretty damn similar lead. Did you think, were you watching the championship? Were you feeling like, oh man, Houston's about to pull a Duke? Or did you feel like Houston was going to pull it out? Like, what were you thinking watching it?
Nah, just watching it, I couldn't help but think like Duke would be kicking Florida's ass right now. But I figured Florida would win it. I figured Florida would pull away. What's the kid's name?
Walter Clayton.
Walter Clayton, yeah. He was playing out of his mind, man. He was clutch, captain clutch, and it's terrible. He's not gonna be as good as we're not gonna be able to see what he can really do in the NBA. But in this tournament, that dude was amazing. That dude was amazing. And in that game, like just the willpower, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Even like in the in the game against Auburn, you couldn't stop.
He had multiple games in this tournament where he scored 30.
You couldn't stop.
Game, he couldn't hit the broadside of a barn in the first half.
Right.
And down the stretch, he hit everything.
Right.
He hit like 4 or 5 baskets in a row, and multiple. They got multiple 3-point plays because they kept attacking the rim, and they didn't settle for threes.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, and the thing was the 3-pointers weren't going down, so they adjusted, they attacked, and I was impressed because I did think it did feel to me like Houston was going to pull it out because I felt that in the end Houston was playing superior defense, but truthfully, Florida's defense really did pull it out over the last 3 minutes or so. They really changed the entire complexion of the game. And shout to Todd Golden for not pulling Condon, because even my mother-in-law, it was funny. Condon missed every damn shot near the rim. And my mother-in-law is like, why can't that big guy make a shot? And all these things. But Condon is the dude who
was terrible.
But he was the dude who blocked the shot at the end of the game and recovered the ball. His defense was awesome. His offense was garbage.
Horrible.
But they rode with him because of how well he was playing on defense, and then ended up paying off for them because defense wins championships, especially at this level. Now, the fact that someone was able to play better defense in Houston is crazy. I can't believe they blew it. I feel for Kelvin Sampson, and I feel for those kids, man. The looks on their faces, that was heartbreaking.
Oh, man.
I feel for Houston.
To lose a national championship game like that, by a point.
To not even get a shot off. They didn't even get a shot at the end. That's just you. That would hurt me. It would haunt me for the rest of my life. It really would. And they had opportunities and they wasted all of them. And the thing is, if he just shoots the ball and lets it be blocked, then he can recover it and shoot it again. But instead he thinks it's going to be blocked, panics, drops it. Good on him for not catching it and traveling. Good on him for knowing that would be a travel.
Right.
But he should have just taken the block because of the situation. And you know what? Again, that's a hard
at least
thing
try to draw the foul. At least, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Draw the foul.
It's a tough one, man. But an incredible Final Four. All around. The Auburn and Florida game too. Florida was down in every single game and somehow came back to it. Truly a phenomenal. And I fucking hate the Gators, but my mother-in-law won our family bracket and split the winnings with me, so I love the Gators. So what do you do?
Okay, hey, that it was that's all the more reason for you to be rooting on the Gators.
There you go.
But Duke should have won that. Duke was there. Next year, because we started thinking about next year, I guess.
Arizona should have beat Duke, and they should have been knocked out earlier. So you were lucky that didn't happen. That's what I'm going to say. If you say Duke,
that's crazy. Like, what do you mean they should have beat them?
Caleb Love, baby, he's eliminated Duke multiple times before.
Hey, he didn't lock that dude up. I thought the dude was on a milk carton.
He's like 37 years old. He could have done it. Trust me.
The Denver Nuggets let go of sad, terrible news, man. Mike Malone, seen here showing himself out, was fired by the Denver Nuggets.
Seen here showing himself out. That is good.
Oh yeah, fired today, man. What do you think about that? I think that's crazy. Like especially Denver coming off a championship not long
Listen,
ago. Yeah,
I don't understand how Mike Budenholzer still has his job in Phoenix.
yeah.
And Taylor Jenkins and Mike Malone have been fired, but here we are. Listen, we all know that Calvin Booth, the Denver GM, and Mike Malone hated each other. Everyone has talked about that. But I didn't know that ownership hated both of them. You know, this is crazy to me. And one thing that's funny is Zach Lowe said on his emergency podcast about this, he said, well, it's kind of a vote of confidence in the players because they're replacing the coach and saying, hey, you know, we think that this coach can make a run. And I'm like, dude, how is it a vote of confidence in the players? They fucking fired the GM too. Like this is we're getting a head start on our coaching and GM search because this team is a disaster that's going nowhere. And I don't understand how the Suns have not already reached this point, but they better soon because they're a disaster. They're a disaster that should be making these moves. They should be firing their coach. They should be looking into trading half the roster. But instead, apparently, Denver is doing that 2 years after winning a championship. And listen, the one thing I can say about this, I really fucking hope that Mike Malone is coaching the Suns next season. Like, straight up. I think Mike Malone is a damn good coach.
Yeah.
And for whatever coach is there in the post-Kevin Durant world when they've retooled that entire team, Mike Malone is a guy I would love leading it. They need to fucking fire Budenholzer and pick this dude up. I have no idea what the Nuggets are thinking. Unless this is something that Jokic wanted, and I don't believe for a second that he did. This is fucking crazy to me. It's a terrible idea. I think this is insanity.
I think it is too, bro. I can't, like I said, I can't believe this happened. Like, what did he do? You know what I'm saying? He had to like slap somebody's mom in the face, or you know what I'm saying, or pistol someone's car handle. You know, he had to make somebody very upset because, like I said, the Nuggets are just coming off a championship like a couple years ago, and they look dominant again. You know, what I'm saying like a formidable team like this going to stay around and it's the credit goes to Mike Malone here, and now you're gonna tell me he's fired?
He's the winningest coach in franchise history.
Yeah.
He's the only coach who's ever done anything respectable with this team. He won a fucking championship.
Exactly.
And, I understand that, they may say, all right, well, the players have tuned him out lately. They're in the doldrums. Dude, a lot of really good teams have sucked at the end of the season as they're waiting for the playoffs to start, and they're kind of just grinding it out. That shit happens. What is the idea that this is the assistant coaches? Well, they all love David Adelman. Okay, great. So this new assistant coach is going to come in and be such a genius that he's going to fix everything. Like, you've got to really believe in this dude,
right?
To do this. That's supposedly when the Grizzlies fired Taylor Jenkins, it's like, oh, well, they really, really believe in this assistant more. All right. But here you have a championship head coach. This is not a dude who's just won games. Right. This is a dude who created a dominant team. Yeah. Who's helped become one of the best players of all time.
It's created a culture there. You know what I mean? A winning culture in Denver. That's crazy. Basketball. Who would have thought?
Yeah. The Nuggets were a fucking punchline for 50 years. Before Mike Malone showed up, basically, minus maybe the George Karl era.
Yeah.
They were a joke.
The Melo era.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Melo era was kind of, but whatever. I get you.
It's crazy, man. And listen, if they go on a run and some shit happens, then fine, they can be justified.
Right.
I just think that we are seeing NBA teams react crazier and crazier and make more coaching changes because the second apron is making it harder to make trades. So it's like, fuck it, what can I do? And that's what Matt Moore was saying on the Zach Lowe podcast, is he felt like that the second apron is making it harder to make trades, and so teams are just going, fuck it, what can we do? We can trade, we can fire the coach, we can change the coach. And I think that there's something to that, because if the Nuggets tried to make a bunch of moves at midseason and couldn't, and things aren't going their way, one thing you can do is fire the coach. But I think that when you have a championship on your resume, I don't know, man. I don't think this is smart. And I think
you get a like not get fired free card or something. You get where you can just
3 years. I mean,
no. Yeah, I I know I've only won 15 games this season, but you can't fire me.
And I know that their collapse last year against the Wolves was horrific. They had a 20-point lead in the fourth quarter and blew it in game 7. I understand that. But what does that have to do with now? Like, if that was so horrific that you couldn't stand it, then you should have fired him then.
Yeah.
Why are you doing it now before you even give him another chance in the playoffs? There's just no real logic to it. No. And if this new coach is going to be so much more miraculous and install this new incredible system, isn't he going to need a training camp to do it? How is he going to do it with no time left before the playoffs?
Just
makes no sense. Yeah, the Nuggets are going to fail, and I think that the Nuggets are saying they know they're going to fail by doing this. So,
oh yeah, 100%. I think it's that time, bro.
Is it? This is my favorite time. It is that time. It is that time. Oh God,
it's that time. It's time for our top 10. Now we're going to let you guys know before we do this top 10. This is the top 10 list that has come to be compiled between myself, King Hulie, and the Blunt Doctor. You may agree with the list, you may not agree with the list, but it's our list. If you don't like it, fuck you. But here it is.
I like that
this
attitude.
Top 10 list is top 10 sports moves that will happen before Aaron Rodgers signs to a team. And you see it right there at the bottom, according to the King of Doc.
Man, fuck that guy. How many off seasons does he need? How many off seasons do we have to sit here and talk about where's Aaron Rodgers going to sign this year? Fuck that guy. I'm so tired of this dude. Just go away. Go do a bunch of ayahuasca in a cave and bang some second-rate model chick and just leave us the fuck alone. I'm so tired of Aaron Rodgers. He's going to drag this out for weeks, months, as long as he can possibly make everything about him. And he's going to go on the Pat McAfee show and make passing references to politics he doesn't understand. I hate this guy.
I think it's crazy. I think it's crazy that we're probably going to get a Friday 4 or the fourth Friday movie before Aaron Rodgers signs.
That's not even on the list.
I want to go over a couple things, so they're not sports related that'll happen before.
And that's not even on. Yeah, that's not even on the list. Like that.
GTA 6,
crazy.
GTA 6. We'll probably get GTA 6 before that. What do you think?
Yeah. It seems like it. It's starting to seem like we might get GTA 7 before Aaron Rodgers chooses a team.
Yeah, this is a couple things. You know what I'm saying? So let's get to this list. Number 10. Number 10, Antonio Brown will read his results of his CTE scan live on TikTok.
This just seems like something I already heard happen. Like this dude, man, this guy, how fast they fall and how serious they fall when it's CTE that causes the fall.
I know.
I remember watching that game.
The moment he got CTE.
Yeah. Well, I remember watching the game where against the Jets, where he literally fucking just walked off the field on the Bucs.
Oh,
took his jersey off and just left. He just left the stadium.
Who with this dude?
And they were like, "What? He's Antonio Brown was just arguing with Bruce Arians and seems to have left the field." It's just like, and then after the game, before the transaction had even occurred, Bruce Arians said Antonio Brown is no longer a member of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And like and that was just like the end of it. And man, dude, Tom Brady let that dude live in his house. He worked with him. Yeah. And Antonio Brown like sold him out. He sold everyone out. And he sexually assaulted multiple women and somehow gets away. Like, he's not a good dude.
He's not.
And this just really seems like a very realistic outcome to me.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think the results of that scan would be? Like, is the question. Like,
a resounding yes.
yeah, that's the answer. Yeah.
The CT in his brain probably spells out yes. Whatever they're looking at probably spells out yes. He has it.
Just like basically a large piece of cardboard that says yes on it.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
Or they might be like worried that he wouldn't get it to like hire a marching band. Like,
yeah, the E is backwards, of course. He is. Yeah, I mean, he is backwards on it, of course, but
yeah, there's
yes.
Yeah, and I think that the biggest thing would be that after he found that he had CTE, the next thing to do would be to get Chandler Jones to get on and do his CTE scan after he sang that
like
song about how much he loved Bill Belichick.
They can do it like a versus battle.
Oh yeah, that's perfect. That's the best idea right there. Like Antonio Brown and Chandler Jones, who has more CTE? Who's his worst CTE? Like it's like Antonio Brown.
Greg Hart.
It's like Antonio Brown assaulted a woman, and that's terrible. But Chandler Jones sang on Instagram, and that's really no, I'm just kidding. I'm joking.
Hey.
This is a late night show. We make jokes. I feel that people should understand the reason that this is a late night show is that so we can do roast level jokes at times, and we don't fucking mean it.
We don't mean it.
But seriously, that song was fucking terrible.
I try to be as realistic as possible here.
You hit the nail on the head.
What's number 9?
Number 9. All right. Number 9. Let's move to it. And it is the Nuggets will fire. Oh, shit. All right. Okay, fuck. All right, hold on. The Grizzlies will fire. Okay. Fuck. All right. Everyone's getting fired. Listen,
this is weird.
I can't even. How did these two dudes get fired and the Suns are still mired in the hell that is Mike Budenholzer? And I loved this dude so much when he was hired. I was like, this is everything. This dude's going to be able to build the offense we've always wanted. He's, coached against Devin Booker. He knows what he's capable of. He's going to figure out a way to get KD to actually run a pick and roll. And every single one of those things was wrong. I couldn't have been more wrong if I don't even know. I can't even come up with a joke comparison for how wrong I was because I was just so unbelievably wrong. It was like I took the SATs and they looked at it instead of putting a Scantron and rating it, they just put a trash can on my head. And you were like, this is you. Because there's no amount of anything that can explain this Sun season is so bad.
They just ripped this shit up. It's like, here.
Well, sometimes, dude, this Sun season is so bad that sometimes I actually go outside and just do other things. I don't even know how to explain how crazy that I take my son to the park instead because it's we're down 30. And I'm like, oh, cool. It's 2013 again. Life is, actually 2014. Sorry, 2013 was me. Actually, it was 2013, 14. It's 2016 again. Whatever. There's so many terrible Suns years. I can't even choose which one to compare it to because it's so awful. And again, I'm the one that grew. How bad is it? That's what we need. We need audio. We need some audio cues here. I am the Tom Brady guy, so I understand. I have had a multitude of championships. I've got to celebrate so many things. And I feel bad for other Suns fans because my Tom Brady championships are dragging them down. Kevin Durant's legacy is being destroyed by how many Super Bowls I rooted for Tom Brady winning. It's my fault. I'm taking responsibility. That's how bad it's gotten with the Suns this year is I am existentially having a personal crisis because it must be about me. That's how bad it is. And yet our head coach is still in place.
That's pretty bad.
Mike Malone is fired.
I don't understand how Taylor Jenkins
got fired. Swirling vortex of entropy.
I don't understand how he got fired.
I don't understand any of this.
I think maybe what if I mean this comes after the John Morant handgun thing and gesture.
Yeah.
It's probably
and today he did a grenade gesture.
Oh,
he has no
what it is.
He's
It probably like, hey man, if you can't get this guy to stop fucking with guns, you're fucking out of here.
Yeah, and if John Morant clearly hates his coach, then that's fine. But he's still out here doing the shit after you fired him. Listen, John Morant, that dude. Listen, you're immature as fuck.
Yeah.
If you want to be cool and hold a gun in a strip club on Instagram, whatever. You made.
Man, I ain't like the way you held the gun either. That was the weirdest thing.
Yeah. And then the thing is now you're they find you, they've made you go through all this stuff. You said, I'm going to be a better role model, all these things. So now you can't stop making gun gestures. He has the intelligence of a fucking 15-year-old, it seems like. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, really, for real, like, Ja is ridiculous, man. Like, he has all the opportunities in the world. Ever since Ja Morant said, I'm good in the West, when they asked him who he was afraid of in the West, ever since he said that, his fucking world was falling apart, man.
Oh, for sure. For sure. You, yeah, for sure. That makes so much sense because I remember that. And then, like, that was right after that, the first gun thing happened, and the second gun thing happened, and then that fake ass apology in between. It was like, man,
and now his ass is about to be fucking traded somewhere.
Now, Ja, when you get out there, make sure you say you're sorry and you will never do it again. Okay.
They're gonna trade his ass to Orlando, man. Send him to fucking purgatory, dog.
Bro, and I was like, you're gonna have to get them the fuck out of Memphis. You know what I mean? Yeah. You don't want them to play with guns. Trade him.
Yeah. Send him to Orlando. Send him to the happiest place on earth. He can go to fucking Disney World every day.
He can go to Orlando. Yeah, that'd be cool. Or they could start a franchise somewhere in New Hampshire, or maybe even Montana. Maybe even Montana. You know?
Yeah. Oh my God. Please show me the footage of Ja Morant walking around the white people in New Hampshire or Montana, just carrying his gun on Instagram at the local general store.
He would, no, there's no way. There's no way.
He's riding up and down the street playing Whoop That Trick, and these people are like, I don't know about this. Like, I don't know about
this stuff. He's probably been dead already.
Listen,
we found one.
And I say this as a person, who was born in New Hampshire. It's just the whitest place ever, and it has something to do.
I randomly said New Hampshire,
but it is so white, dude. And I'm not trying to like
be the whitest place ever.
It's just like it's called New Hampshire. What are we doing here? All right, number 8.
Right. All right. Number 8. Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani will be recasted in the brand new film King Kong vs. Godzilla in the Outfield.
Can we get Christopher Lloyd? That's my only question. I want Al to come back and make a cameo appearance.
What would he do? Oh, great appearance, right? Doorman at the Empire State Building. You know what I'm saying? Doorman at the Empire State, put Christopher Lloyd there.
Oh man,
would you watch the movie?
Would I watch? I would watch this movie. I would 100% watch this movie. The question for me would be is how big of a torpedo bat is King Kong swinging? Where does he get this, city-sized torpedo bat that he starts knocking buildings down with? Is it a banana that he has squeezed to be a certain level?
I don't know. I don't know.
Is it not gorillas that
I think Godzilla Ohtani would probably have the closest resource because the redwoods are in Northern California. Pretty sure they can make a torpedo bat.
He can use his flames to just cut one right out of the trees. And meanwhile, freaking King Kong just rips a tree out of the ground and is like, "This, I'll use this as a bat." I could see. I would be very impressed with King Kong just swinging a redwood, and then Ohtani's carving out the redwood. We've got very different styles here.
We could, that could be part of the training montage right before the big game. King Kong shape. He's doing whatever to build his torpedo bat. He's just swinging through whatever.
King Kong is swinging the bat into buildings to break it in perfect shapes.
Exactly. And then I don't know what Godzilla's doing, just yelling.
Yeah, just breathing fire constantly on the bat to shape it perfectly.
Okay. Whatever does scare the shit out of Japanese people.
Yeah, that's fair. That's oh god,
this would be an awesome video.
This would be an awesome video game.
Dead ass would be. I would 100%.
Time to especially if we can find a way to work baseball in, you know what I mean. King Kong comes up to bat, he hits the ball 200 miles, and then Godzilla catches it in his mouth, and then attacks
Oh,
King
wait.
Kong for hitting
What
a
if
baseball torso.
Godzilla has cosmetic surgery on his tail to shape it into a bat? And he just
What if Godzilla is part of a gambling
that
ring
ass and knocks the ball three continents?
There you go. Yeah,
he throws that ass and knocks the ball three
bat.
continents.
There you go.
Go.
This is next level stuff here.
See what I'm saying?
This is how you get Hollywood.
This is why, exactly. This is why this show is up late, because Hollywood's up late.
Yeah,
Hollywood's on this show, and
they're doing cocaine, watching right now.
Watching right now.
Yeah. All of actually they're probably doing meth these days. Let's be a little bit more modern. Cocaine is very 80s. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're not. Yeah, okay.
We're a modern show. We talk about the current news.
What's next, bro?
Number 7, and I kind of sold the lead away on this one, but it's worth repeating 8,000 times.
Okay,
and that is things that will happen before the Aaron Rodgers chooses the next team. Number 7, the Phoenix Suns will win something that actually matters. Dude, it is heartbreaking to watch this team play. It is gut wrenching to watch this team play. And when I think about the fact that we had a 2-0 lead in the NBA Finals, and then Giannis won 4 straight games on us, including 50-piece in Game 6, sometimes I just want to drive my car into a bridge, not off a bridge, because I want to live, but I just really want to hear the crunch of frustration. And then I'm like, oh, that seems like a really bad idea. And I don't do it because unlike Devin Booker, I don't have 37 cars. But this team is sort of like if there was a vacuum in the center of space that sucked in all of the joy that anyone in the Phoenix area could feel, and also the New Mexico area could feel, because they love the Suns too. And it's just this sort of black hole of unhappiness in the Southwest. And I think that anyone's oh, it's a dry heat. That's because all of the love and happiness and energy has been drained from the bodies of everyone in the area, because we have to watch this shit over and fucking over. And to top all that off with the Lakers getting a generational superstar in Luka Doncic, and the Spurs getting an all-time freak in Victor Wembanyama, it's just cool, man. Let's just, you know what?
We're watching other teams just get better, and
let's just self-immolate. Let's light ourselves on fire. And it's the Phoenix Suns, so we'll just light ourselves on fire. And it's fine. Yeah, and then no one will even care anymore. And we don't even have a name for our arena. It's just
the Suns play. What do they call it?
Yeah, they call it the Phoenix Arena or Phoenix Suns Arena, because the teams keep leaving the naming deals, because who wants to be the naming rights for a team that has Kevin Durant and can't even win? And dude, someone asked the question that this is now the 3rd straight team on that has bad vibes with Kevin Durant on it, that has underachieved. And I wonder if these things hurt his legacy a little bit. And if he goes somewhere else and doesn't win there either, I'm really going to wonder, because this was supposed to be something that was, his legacy, winning on his team.
Going to say that I think that moment was going to fuck up his legacy. Him going to go to say, and then them winning, and then him going other places and not winning, and then sucking on teams, or having teams that Brooklyn Nets thing was supposed to be huge with him, with Kyrie and James Harden.
Yep,
that big 3 there should have been huge,
and that would have fixed his legacy just fine.
Would have fixed just fine, but nothing.
Or if he had stayed in OKC and won with the Thunder. And the thing is, dude, there's now the people who are talking about potentially him going back to the Thunder. But dude, if he went back to the Thunder with SGA, it wouldn't.
But bro, come on. No, come on. Yeah, that's still
he's got to go somewhere and somehow win as the top guy or the second guy, and somewhere like Houston or something. And that that's just going to be really hard to accomplish. Maybe Denver. But the Denver thing would require Jamal Murray, and I don't want the Suns to do that. It's I don't. It's all again. It's just it's it's like, you know how they're like, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. It's like I'm driving in a tunnel and there's just black at the end of it, and yet I can't stop the car because it's a Tesla and it's malfunctioned and it's just careening into the darkness. And that's what it's like to be a Phoenix Sun fan.
You're just along for the ride. Yeah, that sucks.
Pretty much. Number 6.
Number 6, man. This is kind of sad, bro. But I believe Barry Bonds will get into the Hall of Fame before we figure out where Aaron Rodgers is going to play next year. Like, honestly, this is the most most feared hitter in baseball. The fact that he's not in the Hall of Fame is a crime. And to be honest, like, the steroid era of baseball was probably the best I've ever seen in my life. It was a great time to be a baseball fan during the steroid era. There's nothing like just going to the game and watch some guy just get all roided up and smack a home run on 575,000 feet. That's great. That's what you come to the baseball games to see, so that and the fights. But, of course, those were a lot of those there because there's a bunch of roided up people on the field. So
it is the truth. And real talk, dude, I will tell you the truth. I grew up a San Francisco Giants fan. I lived in Danville, California. I was a diehard San Francisco Giants fan. I loved Barry Bonds more than anything. The 2002 World Series against the Angels broke my heart and made me broke my love of baseball so much because the Giants were so close and completely blew it. And at that point, Barry was so much older. There was really not going to be another opportunity. And there really never was again. He only played a couple more years. And, then that's kind of when I moved to Boston and I sort of gravitated toward becoming a Red Sox fan. And I admit, I was a bit of the Red Sox were becoming good. I kind of bandwagoned it, whatever. But I quite literally that 2002 World Series, and I still to this day fucking hate the Angels, and I love that they are mired in misery, and I love that Mike Trout has never done shit, and I love that Shohei
they're
Ohtani
already eliminated from playoff contention.
And yeah, exactly, they're already eliminated, and I love that Shohei Ohtani left and went across town, and they had to watch him win a World Series. I hate the Angels. I will always hate the Angels, and so their misery is my pleasure. It is my gain, and Barry Bonds absolutely should be in the fucking Hall of Fame. Goddamn right.
100%. Number 5, what you got?
Number 5. Things that'll happen before Aaron Rodgers signs is I will stop making fat jokes about Luka Doncic.
I don't think he can do it, bro. I think Barry Bonds.
This is not happening.
I think Barry Bonds gets into the Hall of Fame before you stop making fat jokes.
Yeah, no, you're right. This is not happening. This is bullshit. I'm lying. I'm completely fucking lying. This is a total lie. This is the only thing. Yeah, I'm completely lying. Listen. Me and the Pillsbury Doughboy over here have one thing in common, okay? We like to drink and we like to eat. Other than that, we got nothing in common. But we got those two, whatever you want. We consume. We are consumers. Me and Luca, both of us. So as a fellow fat boy, I just like to point out, I'm going to say it again because I still believe it to be true. He looks like James Harden playing in peanut butter. He's just so much slower. And yet, somehow, he scores 60-point triple doubles. So listen, Luka Doncic and Nikola Jokic have proven that out of shape white dudes can dominate the NBA, which I just don't really know what to do with that. I mean, you have to be 6'10" or taller, sure, but I just don't really know what to do with these two guys who
goofy, man, and goofy looking too.
Yeah.
Crazy.
They really. It's fucking crazy. And Luca with his Hitler Youth haircut, come on, man. It just gets absurd to me. Kristaps Porzingis too, man. That dude's haircut is, find a new barber, dog, because I'm not with it. Number 4, man.
Number 4, man. I would say the Cowboys winning the Super Bowl would be low-hanging fruit, but I'm gonna switch it up, man. I'm gonna say hold on. You gonna bring it up here? I will say that the New York Giants will win their 5th Super Bowl before. You know what? We got Jameis Winston. You know what I'm saying? We got Russ. You feel me? I think it's time. If not anything, we're gonna be the most watched team this year because Jameis Winston, bro. And I hated Jameis Winston for so long because like he was the quarterback, said at Florida State when they beat Auburn in the national championship. But this dude has been nothing but pure gold ever since. From the jumping on the table and screaming out like explicitive to the crab claws thing to the getting suspended for the crab claws thing and then showing up like in full gear. Like ready to play.
W's.
How many W's? How many W's going to eat? Everything that's going on with this dude right now, so this Super Bowl season was fantastic. If you watched like the behind the scenes things, this guy was everywhere. Hey, look, and Saquon Barkley. Shout out to Saquon Barkley. He told him, hey, because I saw a video where Jameis Winston had asked him during the Super Bowl. He's like, hey, the media day. He's like, hey, where do you think I should sign? And Saquon's like, hey, I think the New York Giants are looking for a quarterback. They signed.
Listen, here's what I'm going to say. A quarterback room with Tommy DeVito, Jameis Winston, and Russell Wilson is Hard Knocks material. Because
bro, I can't wait.
Someone pointed that out on Reddit, and I was like, oh my God. Yeah, listen, Russell Wilson with all of the like Christian speeches. Yeah, Jameis Winston will come in and say something that's completely incomprehensible. And then Tommy DeVito will like talk about his mom and eating chicken cutlets. And everyone will be like, that stick is really fucking old, bro. And listen, I want more than anything for Jameis to beat Russell Wilson. Series. Yes, and I would give anything for Jameis to beat Russell Wilson out for that job. That would be tremendous.
Nah,
are you at a point with the Giants where I am with the Suns, where it's just like, well, at least you're like, man, we had Super Bowls. Like you get to think about the good old days, right? There's none of that.
Yeah, I was thinking about right? You know what? Because I'm saying, like, I'm surprised. Like, when I thought about this, I said, "Wow, that'd be the fifth one." I mean, like the third or fourth one should have never happened either.
Well, and that's the
this thing. So this is prime. This is prime time to get this fifth one because, like, you remember what happened with the third one. Third one was the Super Bowl with Tom Brady and the undefeated one. The fourth one was
and the other one was the
Patriots again, but they barely squeaked in on the last game of the season into the playoffs by beating the Cowboys, and they end up riding that wave all the way into like winning the Super Bowl. So like this would be perfect. The scenarios like the stars and everything is lining up perfectly for us to get the fifth one.
Yeah, minus that whole Super Bowl winning roster thing. The funniest thing to me is because it's true. Those two Super Bowls are both incredibly close. And, again, the Giants won them both. I'm not trying to whatever. They won them both. What makes me laugh, though, is when I do run into like a Giants fan who will like be like, the helmet catch. I'm like, oh, that's like 13 years ago. Like I would hope that you have something else to talk about at this point. Like Tom Brady won 4 more after that. I'm good, man.
Yeah,
congratulations. Like I don't know what to say. That stuff is again, that's the thing is with Tom Brady, I'm super obnoxious. With the Suns, I'm like banging my head against the wall. It's a whole mixed bag. So
I get it, fam. I get it. All right, what's up with number 3?
Number 3, and this one might be my favorite one. Stephen A. Smith will defeat J.D. Vance for president in 2028, and his first move will be deporting Kevin Durant. Because listen, Stephen A. hates this motherfucker. And I don't know why he hates him so much, but he absolutely does. Every single thing, every day you turn on ESPN right now, and Stephen A. is like, listen, I love Kevin Durant. He's one of my best friends in the world, but I recently saw his grocery list, and he did not include bananas. And I don't know what kind of man you think you are if you do not have the daily potassium intake that is necessary to lead a basketball team to an NBA championship. I just feel that if he really does run for president, he's going to take a look at what Trump is doing with all of these deportations, and there's no laws, and he's going to be like, listen, man, this dude is an alien enemy of 1830 or whatever that act is, and I am deporting him to an El Salvador prison. They have basketball courts. It's okay. He can still hoop. That's all he cares about.
All he cares
He doesn't
about.
care about leading. So I'm gonna send him to a place where he can just hoop.
He doesn't care about brushing his hair or putting lotion on either.
yo, listen.
He cares about hooping.
Listen, that motherfucker, he will no one has ever been as ashy as that picture, and he will never live it down.
Never.
Yo,
never, ever. It's never been
the fact that you made a reference to that shit, and I knew exactly what you were talking about, yo.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
Number two.
Keeping up with Stephen A. Smith. Future President Stephen A. Smith. This is before he became president. I'm pretty sure Stephen A. Smith and LeBron James will meet at WrestleMania 42 in the Big Easy in New Orleans. Yeah, you see all the the trash talk back and forth. You know what I'm saying? At this point, it's time to just put it down. Start throwing hands.
This is fair.
What bigger way than the granddaddy of them all, the biggest stage of them all, at WrestleMania? This can't be this one because it's only a couple weeks away. You're gonna extend this feud all the way out for another year. But it's okay because the WWE has really good story writers that say that do long line storylines long term storylines. They'll be able to spin this one. I think it will be like the main event for Saturday night. It's WrestleMania 2 night. But I really wish you were into wrestling like that, bro. Because this one right here, this particular one, I'm trying to organize a guy trip for.
Yo, I when I was a teenager, I watched wrestling for a little bit. I don't even necessarily have anything against it. I just don't even remember the last time I watched an episode of wrestling.
I tell you what, I'll text you when it's on Netflix, when Raw's on, or even when Friday when SmackDown's on. I'll text you, just watch a little bit of it. You might get hooked.
And then this is another one that I believe could occur. This is one that I could believe could occur right here. So I mean, I would watch this. I would watch this.
Yeah. For sure. All right, what's the number one?
Number one. We need a drum roll. All right. And this is Brett Favre. Wonderful man he is. Brett Favre will purchase the Packers, buys the Green Bay Packers with stolen Mississippi welfare money, and erases every record Aaron Rodgers ever broke, replacing it with his own name. I would assume that he would also try to buy the Minnesota Vikings to try to keep Aaron Rodgers from signing there in the first place. But there's Aaron not enough welfare food stamp money.
We'll call him the Brett Favre copycat.
If I was Pat McAfee, I would just call him Brett for an entire interview, and he would be enraged. And he'd cancel that once a week interview where he gets 6 figures or whatever, 7 figures.
Yeah,
man, fuck Brett Favre. That dude's a piece of shit. But I can see this.
You know what I would do if Brett Favre were ever to come onto this show? I would find out every name of every person that's on welfare in Mississippi, and I would just refer to him by one of those names.
Or you can just call him Jen Sturger and remind him of
hey, what's this?
Billy Bob Jiminy Thorpe.
Mary Kate Benson. Yeah. So how did what was that? What was going through your head when you threw that past Antonio Freeman and he caught it with that weird catch? What was going through it? That was a great one. James Turner
lose his shit. Yeah. Anything that would make him lose his shit is something.
Why do you keep calling me those names? Oh, those
are
the people you ripped off. Those are the people you ripped off.
Those are the people.
That volleyball gym is. How's that going?
Yeah, for real. Did your daughter enjoy her education that you also probably didn't fucking earn?
Right.
Oh,
are you on that? What was it, Aunt Becky? Did she go to school on the Aunt Becky plan?
Yeah, for real. That's I'm pretty sure that is that related to a Fannie Mac or Fannie Mae? I can't remember.
Either way,
yeah.
It was a Fanny Pack.
Fanny Pack, that's what. Yeah,
that's what it was. Fanny Pack, because the funds were right to your Fanny Pack, you piece of shit.
Because because we fucking siphon it from the pension fund and put it right in the fanny pack and walk away.
Fuck this guy. Yeah,
Fuck this dude.
Fuck Brett Favre, bro. I will forever say, like, remind people, like, for no reason. Just like I remind people, like, hey, Christopher Columbus is a piece of shit. He plundered and raped his way into a holiday, countless cities named after him, universities and everything named after him. But let's not forget, he's a piece of shit. I will forever do that. Give Brett Favre the same treatment.
I'm real skeptical of Jordan Love because after Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, I'm wondering if Jordan Love is. I'm waiting.
I swear
to
to
hear
God,
that
if Jordan Love goes to the fucking Jets next, I'm
for real. Yeah, when he ends up playing for the Jets, I'm just done because the script writers are too lazy.
Exactly. I'm like, hey, we see this episode of Martin already. Like, next one, please.
I ain't paying the $5.
Fuck your subscription, NFL. I don't want to see this shit anymore. It's stupid.
It is, yeah. And then over here, I'm like, yo, please give me some more NFL. I'm dying for it. I haven't even watched the UFL. Have you watched the UFL yet? Have you?
Yeah. My nephew. Shout out to my nephew Eric Garrett, who's the starting defensive back for the Memphis Showboats.
Oh, nice. Okay, there you go.
So that's what's up. I hope he don't throw any gun signs.
All right, well, we're gonna need to do like the Memphis Showboats update then next week.
Yeah,
have to watch
for sure. Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's spring football. You know what I mean? It plays in the background.
Yeah.
In my house. You know what I mean?
Yo, whoever knew that women's basketball would trump like any football league? Like the world is finally starting to make a little bit of sense there.
There you go.
Because at least the leagues that matter are getting the eyes. So what's coming up on Truth Be Told Sports, man?
Oh man, we have a new episode. We're gonna come out on Monday. We were supposed to do Friday and Monday. Monday didn't work out for a lot of people. I think the boys had a game anyway on Monday. Just didn't work out, but we'll be back this Monday. Check us out. To the Toast Sports Podcast. What's going on with
10-hour episode?
Doctor? What's the next episode dropping?
I got the 10-hour episode coming May 1st. So
let's go.
I am putting the final touches on it. I am editing. I'm doing all those things, and it will come May 1st. That's probably going to be the next episode because I'm doing too much shit on that one to do any other things. So that is where it will be, baby. It is coming. It is ready. It is time. So
how much reference to the King and Doc do you give in it?
Well, I recorded about 6 months of it, or I recorded about 6 hours of it before we even started this show, but there's plenty of references to it in the back half. So that's what really matters.
Let's go.
That's what really matters in the end. It gets real exciting towards the end when I
listen to all of it.
When I break down how we started this show, and I include that time that we got into a fist fight. No, I'm playing.
We were drunk, and it was at the Pike. No, I'm just kidding.
Everyone fights at the Pike. It's the Pike's fault. Then we went shoplifting. It was fine.
We never got to a fist fight. But yeah, that's what's going on, man. But you know, for everyone else, we appreciate you guys tuning in. Shouts out, guy, the Treehouse Bandit. You know, what I'm saying for always checking in with us. Appreciate you, my boy. Don't know who you are. Don't know what your face looks like. Don't matter, but I love you anyway because you rock with us.
That's my man Keith. We need to get him on here soon.
Yeah.
He is a game designer extraordinaire. We're gonna make him make the King Kong.
Yeah, the King Kong versus Godzilla in the outfield game. 100%.
We're making it happen. I'm gonna force him to do it.
Let's do it. Hell yeah. And you know what? I want to do some voice work in it too. Like, so let's just me and you be the color commentators for it.
This is perfect. It's all coming together. It couldn't possibly be any better.
Look at that. Let's go.
Peace out.
But if you're checking us out on YouTube, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the King and Doc podcast. Click that post notification, let you know when we drop live episodes like we do every Tuesday at 11 o'clock Pacific daylight time right now, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
He lives in Arizona. They do that weird shit, so I never know.
Our time never changes. We just stay in a weird state of stasis that is called Arizona time that no one can trust.
I guess you just don't want to be with the rest of America.
Yeah,
but whatever.
We're the Clive and Bundy of states. That's who we are.
But we appreciate you guys. Also, shout out to the Elite Sports and Entertainment Network for letting us do our thing here late night on their platform. Make sure you run over there to the YouTube as well and subscribe there. You can find us over there as well. Where else are we on? Instagram and Blue Sky.
Yes.
And
TikTok coming
soon. TikTok. TikTok. So we
This is what
appreciate you, man.
TikTok
You got
needs is
anything
us.
else?
No,
Any last
TikTok
minute,
needs us though. That's what they're missing is us. So
they need us. They need us.
get these
100%.
clips.
You got anything else?
That's it for me.
All right, man. We appreciate you guys. Make sure you come back in, check us out next Tuesday at 11 o'clock p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. I'm the King Hulie. That's the Blunt Doctor. We are the King and Doc Podcast. Peace.